Hello everyone, Kara Melendi here from spiritualgoddesses.com, talking to you today about blocks. So are they an illusion? I want to share my experience with this and give some insight to you on this process of releasing your old programming and really embracing a new story that is more relevant for where you are today and how you're showing up today. And yes, I'm excited to dive in. So say hi as you join. I also ask that you share this out as well so we can spread this information and help give a new perspective on what it means to have these limiting beliefs, or sometimes they're called blocks. It can have many different terms. And if you are new to me, my name is Kara Melendi, passionate about helping you co-create magic with the universe by connecting and awakening your inner goddess and working with cosmic energy. Hello, hello, Catherine and Ashley and Tonya. Welcome, beautiful goddesses. Oh, Ashley, I love when you can join live. It's been so long since we connected. Great to have you here. Gabriella, welcome, goddess. And Yvette. Awesome. So there was a few things that really motivated me to talk about this topic today. The first thing I want to look at is what's going on in the cosmos, what's going on astrologically, because this is major change. And one of the big things, of course, are the eclipses that are happening. And that was kicked off last week on the 12th with the new moon eclipse in Cancer. And it's really just the beginning of the changes that are going to be unfolding, because the lunar eclipse at the end of the month, that's going to be huge when it comes to releasing the old and really just keeping up with the expanded part of who you are. And then, of course, we have the Lion's Gate opening on the new moon that's happening in August, which is an eclipse as well. So major change. And it really is a time to say, like, what story am I holding on to that no longer serves me and no longer has a place in my life? And what is the new story that I am creating for myself? So that's what I want to look at today. And in addition to the eclipses that are happening, that are, of course, bringing massive transformation and new relationships in, bringing a lot of karma, we also have Jupiter and Scorpio that went direct on the 10th. And Jupiter is this planet of luck and expansion. And in the sign of Scorpio, it's been about going deep. It's been about like experiencing the shadow, looking at all the emotions of the human experience, the dark and the light, without even labeling it that way, and just simply embracing what it means to be human, basically. But it's also been a lot of looking at old programming and old patterns. And now that Jupiter is direct, it really is that invitation from the universe to step up into the person that you are today. And we're really faced with this question of, am I going to stay stuck in the old programs, the old patterns, or am I showing up with who I know I am? So that's a big part of it, not to mention the retrogrades. We have a lot of planets retrograding right now, including Chiron, the wounded healer, retrograding. And depending on like where this is being activated in your chart, it's going to be a very different experience. And then, of course, it's the planet and the sign that we look at as well. But just simply looking at retrogrades alone, this is also about the past. Retrogrades are about past relationships coming in. It can be past patterns that you feel like, I've evolved beyond. Why is this coming up again? And it's coming up to really bring into your awareness of healing, basically. Sometimes old patterns come up and we think, okay, I'm stuck. I thought I evolved beyond this. We can go into guilt and shame. But the way I've been seeing it lately is if an old pattern comes up, it's an opportunity to fully heal it and release it and affirm that I do not have to bring this with me in the future. All right, so let me know if this is resonating so far. I know we have a lot of astrology lovers that follow my work here. Hi, Karen and Debbie and Tammy and Sherry Lynn. Good morning, Sherry Lynn. And Beverly, good morning. Right, yeah, say hi. If you're just jumping in now, I'm excited about this topic. So that's kind of just the astrology side that we looked at, right? With the releasing and the letting go. And the other part that really prompted me to look at this topic today was actually, so you know on Facebook how you can like see a post that you did a year ago, or it comes up on your Facebook, right? Like this is a memory from a year ago. So that happened the other day, and I usually don't think much of those posts. Like I'll notice them and I'll move on, but somebody else that I had tagged in this post shared it with me again, and then I started to look over it a little more. And basically that post was all about our blocks and illusion. And it was at that time that I was getting certified in the Akashic records where this question of blocks emerged. And is there anything to blocks, basically, or is it just something that our ego has created? And when I was spending time in the Akashic records, this was one of the things I was exploring because it was a really big part of my work, especially at that time, helping people release blocks. And I think like for a lot of coaches, right, it all comes down to that, whether you're looking at like nutritional or money or helping people grow their business, in some way it's going to come back to your mindset or to the blocks that you have, and you know, all those questions that we look at in the personal growth world. So this was a big part of my work as well, helping people release that and move forward. So I examined this in the space of the Akashic records, and the information that I received around it was there's no such thing as blocks. So basically they're an illusion. And at the same time, I heard this doesn't mean that the work you're doing isn't important. So I thought, okay, this is really interesting. I want to explore this more. I want to bring it into my mastermind, talk about it with my mentor as well, and see her perspective on it. And basically what was coming through is that, of course, we can seem like we're experiencing blocks, right? And in this experience, it can feel at times that we're experiencing a block. But in the spiritual realm and the energetic realm, that's really just something we created, is this term, right? We've created this idea of block because really it isn't there. If there's something we want to achieve, if there's something that we desire to manifest, in the spirit realm it is done. There's no such thing as blocks. We're always expanding and growing, but we can experience it as a block. Let me know if this is resonating, and I'd love to hear your perspective too. What do you think about this idea of blocks? Do you think they're an illusion? I always just love to hear different people's side to this as well. And when I looked at this a little closer in terms of the records, the information that I was also receiving is that what we experience as a block is when we're not keeping up with the expanded part of who we are. So when we desire to create something in our life and we know this is what I want, it feels in alignment with my purpose, with my soul, if we are not keeping up with that in some way, it can appear as a block because we're not yet where we want to be. But even just imagine, like, where would you be if there was no blocks? Like if there was no blocks to what you desire, what would that mean for you to like change your mindset around that and trust when you desire something, it's done. And it's just energetically keeping up with it. All right, let's see these comments. Sherry Lynn, I think we have to do the work to realize that there is no blocks. Yeah. Yes, agree, right? Because it really can seem like that at times. If we're somewhere that we're not, we're like, well, it feels like a block. There must be something in my way. And it is through digging deeper. And even that alone, I think, is just a belief or a mindset shift that what if there isn't a block? But it's also, it has to be felt on the energetic level as well, because and this is another side to it, I think. Like energetically, we can be stuck in old patterns and programs as well. Like it's just what our body remembers, and it comes more natural to us. And it's sometimes like changing and shifting our energy patterns too. So we realize I don't have to stay stuck in this place that isn't working for me anymore. So it does begin with a mindset, but I think it's a very like energetic component as well. Okay, let's see what everybody's saying here. Beverly, this is resonating with me. Fear, mistrust manifests as a block in me. Yeah, it can, right? It can come up in so many different ways. I love that idea too, right? Just like this fear or mistrust, and realizing that, like, is this in alignment with the truth of who I am? Is this in alignment with my soul? And it just like choosing again. Choosing, like, we don't have to buy into that story if it's not serving us. Karen, yes, out of alignment or in alignment is the feeling. Oh, I love that, Karen. What a beautiful way to look at it, right? Like, am I in alignment with what I want to create or not? And sometimes it's just like changing the wording around it, that it changes our experience of it as well. And I also have a background in psychology too. So I worked as a psychotherapist, and beliefs, like, I always loved exploring beliefs. Like, this has been huge for me initially. Like, what dove me into this idea of blocks and beliefs was working like through my own fears and doing my own shadow work and, you know, feelings of anxiety and all that stuff, that I dove into that. And I realized, like, there's many levels, right? Like, even in our brain, there's neural pathways that we practice, right? We practice certain beliefs, we practice certain thoughts, so it can come more easily to us. So there can be a process of saying, okay, I'm ready to rewire my brain. I'm ready to see this in a new way. Or from like that scientific perspective too, it's this whole idea of epigenetics as well, which is what we think, what we eat, our environment can actually change the genes that are expressed within us. So there's so many things, like on so many levels, that say there are patterns that we practiced in our life that may come more natural to us. But there's also a way to put a new pattern in place. There's a way to put a new story in place. And once we practice that, it soon becomes the default. And then it's more natural for us. Choosing love. Oh, I love that, Gabrielle. Yes, choosing love, right? And it can come down to that. It's like, am I choosing love? Am I choosing fear? And in everything in our life, every decision we make and how we show up, am I making this choice from a place of being in fear, or am I making this choice from a place of being of love, right? The energy of love. And it's very different if we're making decisions from this fear-based place than if we're making decisions from the wisdom of our heart and from a place of love. Welcome. If you're just joining now, say hi below. Feel free to share this out. Let's get this information out here on blocks and if they are an illusion. Eve, change your words and it will change your world. How true that is. Are the words we use, and this was another big lesson that I learned from spending time in the Akashic Records as well, is like the questions that we ask and the energy that we approach this space with determines the information that comes through. So if you're new to the Akashic Records, what I'm referring to this, it's basically, it's a vibration, it's an energy that you can tap into, that is tapping into collective consciousness, accessing your higher self, your angels, your guides. So of course you do not have to go through the Akashic Records to do that. There are many different ways. And this has just been one piece of my journey that has allowed me to access this space and like connect with my angels, my guides, my higher self, and receive this information. So just in case you're new to the Akashic Records and you're wondering, like, what does that mean? Where's this information coming from? And it's a space that we all have access to. Like, we all have access to infinite amounts of wisdom and knowledge and love and support that can come through to us. And even in that space of the records, the questions that we bring will determine the answers that we're getting. So if you ask a different question, you get a different answer. And it's just that way in life as well. The questions that you're asking yourself each day, that you're asking other people, will determine the information that comes through for you. And it also, and I've worked with my clients on this as well, like the questions that you're asking yourself, don't feel like you always have to know the answer to those questions. When you pose a question, your mind, it primes your brain to go to work on answering that question for you. So it basically determines like what you're noticing in your environment, what you're seeing, and what you're drawing in. So yes, Eve, good point. The power of question. I love that. All right. I'm just going to catch up on some of these questions and comments here. Welcome, Amanda and Tess and Emily. Beverly saying, yes, words carry powerful vibration and the unconscious takes everything literally. So true, right? If we say something, and that's why it's those first 7 years of our life where our belief systems are really being programmed, because we're not necessarily questioning at that age, is this right? Is this true? We're just accepting it. And it's not just the message that we're hearing from like our parents or caregivers or society, more importantly than the message always, more importantly than the words always, is the energy behind them. And that's where we begin to form these belief systems. We begin to form a story about who we are, what we're able to accomplish in the world, our level of worthiness on any topic, basically. And that's the beauty of all of this, is you get to examine that story again. You get to examine, does this story resonate with me now, with the knowledge that I have as I've grown and expanded? Does this resonate? Or is it time to put in a new story? Hello, beautiful goddess Catherine and Rachel. Oh, thank you for sharing, Emily. Love that. Hi, Natalie. How are you? Welcome, welcome. Yes, so yeah, really just sit with that idea and sink into your heart space on it, because that's where transformation occurs. I mean, there's so much information out there, but really like sink into your heart space and ask yourself, if there were no blocks, if it was just an illusion, where would I be right now? Right? Where would I be? And how can I keep up with that energetic, expanded part of myself and how I'm showing up? And I did mention this a little bit, and I want to go back to this component as well of it being very energetic too. Like sometimes we try to do the work all in our mind, we do the work in our mindset, and it feels very tiring. And I know this from some of the clients that I've worked with, or even in the past when I was doing more counseling and psychotherapy, that sometimes people get tired of questioning every thought that comes up. They're like, this can just be a little exhausting, and I feel like I'm just stuck in my mind all the time. So we don't want that. What you really want is to sink into the wisdom of your body as well. Not that questioning your thoughts. All of that stuff, of course, is so important, but sometimes it's the energy that needs to shift. So one of the many things I do as well is working with the chakras in the body, the energy centers in the body, and working to balance that. In about a year ago now, I had teamed up with Angela Kudger, who has a background in the medical field, and she's also a wellness coach. And we did this Chakra Balance Blitz program, which is all about balancing your chakras, balancing these energy centers, because especially right now with like what's going on in the cosmos and how we are energetically upgrading so quickly, we are feeling these changes. Working on those energy centers in your body is going to help you keep up with that expansion that's happening right now, and is going to help create change on an energetic level and kind of sink you out of your mind into the wisdom of your body. So I'm going to attach the link below to that as well if you want to check it out, because it's my birthday month and it's her birthday month, and we decided to do a special on this program, Chakra Balance Blitz. So it's over 50% off right now, where you can get in on this and actually work on like that energetic level of releasing energy that you may be holding on to in your body that is just old programming. It doesn't have a place anymore. And as you do that, you create space for the new to come in. So I'm going to attach that below for anybody who is interested in checking that out. Or you can also message me on Facebook and just say, I want the details. I'm ready to balance my chakras. I'm ready to keep up with this expanded part of myself. And I can pop you the link as well, because it is important. We're doing, I think, the energy work too. Does anyone else resonate with that? Like sometimes it's just in the space of the mind, you want to just give your mind a break and you want to sink into the wisdom of your body. Hi, Crystal. How are you? Yes, you got to catch me live. So great to have you. And Kelly and Lisa, Sharon. Yes. Natalie's been exploring exactly this. I love that. Hi, Christine. How are you? Emily, I've been reprogramming my subconscious mind, removing old beliefs, and it's changed my whole outer world. Yeah. And it really, and there's also a link, like I was talking about the body and the energy we hold on to. So it is really a link between like our subconscious programming and our body as well. I think our body actually reveals a lot and holds a lot of the subconscious, and that's really where the long-lasting change occurs, right? It's like it's in the subconscious mind when we deeply rewire the subconscious beliefs, the programs that are driving us, and that's where we see the change even more so than the conscious, right? And that's where the energy work and working with the body can really come into play as well. Yes. All right, so let me know if you have any questions around this, or any questions around Chakra Balance Blitz as well, balancing those energy centers. Beverly's saying, asking where do I feel it in my body brings me out of my mind and back into the knowing self. Oh, beautiful. I love that. Yeah, it's so true. It's like, where am I holding this energy in my body, right? Where is this energy feeling stuck? And I think that's why things like yoga as well is so powerful, because it's breaking up that energy, right? It's allowing us to like move forward, move beyond it. So I love that question. Hi, Lamorla. How are you? Yes. So really, really sink into that and allow those changes to unfold and take place in your life that are coming anyway with the astrology right now, that the eclipses are bringing, that Jupiter going direct is bringing. It really is this opportunity now to say, I'm moving forward, and the universe is fully supporting you in that. And this is like a choice and a decision that you make moment to moment, to say, how am I showing up in this moment? And is this a reflection of who I am now? Or is this just an old pattern, an old program? And be loving and gentle with yourself always, right? Getting into guilt and shame doesn't help. So if you notice it's an old program, just give yourself permission that that was me in the past. That's not who I am today. I choose to release it. And trust your power, right? Trust your power in that. I know this is kind of like another topic or side note around this, but it does fit in with the astrology and the changes and the eclipses. A lot of this goddess energy is emerging right now. And it has been, right? It's been on the rise, the divine feminine. And this is for men and women too. I don't just mean women. When I talk about the goddess and the divine feminine, this is an energy that's within us all, the same as the masculine. And with the divine feminine emerging, it is about truly knowing the power that you have to manifest whatever it is you desire. Like the divine feminine knows that. It doesn't like question it or second guess it. It knows on a deep level that I'm a powerful creator. I bring new life into the world. So if it's something I desire, of course it's done. So this collectively, this new reprogramming is coming in, where we're realizing manifestation can be so much easier than ever before. And it's like a different approach to it. And it's not that we're not taking action. Of course, here on the earth plane, we need action. We have to get things done to move forward. But it's more about coming from this place of ease, coming from this place of flow, coming from this place of joy. And it's through the chakras as well that you really balance out the masculine and the feminine energies. That is seen within our energy systems as well. Some of the chakras being more about, let me take action. Let me step into my power and get out there and get things done. And some of them being related more to the feminine of connecting to my pleasure, connecting to my personal power, connecting to my creativity. So that comes in with this as well. So chakra balance splits will give you that opportunity to balance out those chakras, whether they're underactive, overactive, and then you see those changes in your life when you do that energetic work. All right. Hey, oh, you're welcome, Emily. Hi, William. How are you? Thank you for your kind words. Yeah, right. The feminine in us all, the divine feminine, whether we're male or female, it is in us all, same as the masculine. And that's so important, I think, to remember, because you know, I know there is more talk about the goddess energy, and that's something that I feel very much on a soul level called to bring forward and called to bring out into the world, right? Is this goddess energy, the divine feminine. It is important to remember that it is an energy, same as like the patriarchy or matriarchy. It's a system. It's not about men versus women, right? This is a system and energy merging that we all benefit from. Good morning, Janelle. Always love your energy and sharing so much of what I'm teaching right now. Oh, beautiful, Janelle. Isn't that nice when it's just like in alignment and you're like, yes, I'm right. I'm on the same page. Victoria, oh, I'm glad you're here live as well. And we had Stella jump in and Lauren. All right, so I think I'm gonna wrap this up, but those would be my main takeaways, right? Around blocks. Really question, is this just an illusion? Is this just a story? And where would I be if I wasn't blocked in this area? What if it's just a story? Where would I be? Also invite you to check out Chakra Balance Blitz to help you keep up with the energies that are changing right now. Really great deal on to celebrate my solar return. And this is something that I did team up and do with Angela Cudger, who is a wellness coach, background in the medical field. So I did post the link in the comments, which may be lost in there now. So feel free just to send me a message on Facebook as well, and you can look over the details, read the testimonials, and just sit with your intuition and see if it feels like the right thing for you at this time. Hello, Kimberly and Cynthia. All right, let me wrap this up for now. Sending so much love and light to you all, and I will see you very soon. Bye.